Depression is not a flaw in character. It's a signal from a nervous system that has been overwhelmed for too long without.
From a Wall Street Journal, and I'm going to read them to you. It says about 23.4% of US adults in the US, in North America, experienced any mental health in the past year. This is from 2024 and 2025. That's over about 60 million people. Around 5.6% had been serious mental illness. Only about 72% of Americans rated their mental health as good or excellent in the late 2025. A question to you. We live in North America. We have abundance of life. We are fed. We have food. We have access to all this medical center, hospital, top tier hospital. Why in the world are we having this type of statistics that we have a mental?
Macale got a briefcase of dreams, hustling houses, cash flows and schemes, from keys to castles, from lawns to streams. Every deal's a story bursting at the seams. My name is Macale. I'll find your holy grail, from city lights to country trails. With me, your dreams won't fail.
Welcome everyone to another episode of our podcast. My name is Macale, and I am your local realtor here in Toronto, Ontario. And today we're going to talk about mental health. Mental health is not just about medical terms. It's deeply human. And today we're joined by Dr. Mushtaq who has a designation as a doctor of humanity, and he's going to help us break down the real meaning of mental health through empathy, a deeper meaning, and life experiences. Please help us welcome Dr. Mushtaq Sayed.
Welcome, Mushtaq. Thank you, Alex. It's a pleasure to have you, and thank you for bringing me on. So before we go further, I just wanted to talk about, when we talk about mental health, we often rush into labels.
Correct, yes.
Different kind of labels, depression, anxiety, stress. But I believe the deeper conversation is really about humanity.
Definitely.
Every human being is wired for connection, meaning, and belonging to something. When those things are disrupted through loss, trauma sometimes, isolation, or pressure on their mind, the mind and the body don't fail, they respond. Depression is not a flaw in character. It's a signal from a nervous system that has been overwhelmed for too long without safety, without rest, or sometimes without truly seen. So I'll give you some example of that, which I had an analogy. A lot of time people have stress in their life. They have something from the background in their life, through the childhood, sometimes through different channels in their life. They have some kind of things which they hold it inside them, and they try to show that nothing is happening. And to that, I brought an analogy of that, is that you have a cheesecake in front of you.
Okay.
You take that cheesecake and put it in your briefcase, close it, zip it away. What will happen to the cheesecake after 1 week?
It will get rotten.
It will get, if you keep it for 1 month, it will even get worse.
Yes,
if
correct.
you keep it for few years, that thing is now creating some kind of activity inside it, and it's live now, but it's poison. We can't eat it anymore.
Yes, correct.
And it's creating poison not just by itself in it, but the environment, because where it is there, it's closed inside a briefcase, it's going to cause more damages to the briefcase in all.
Yes.
That same thing goes in our analogy, in our life too. When we feel that trauma, when we feel that stress, when we feel some kind of grief in our life, we normally try to show our strength, which is not the true. We need to grieve it out. And that strength, when we try to show it, we keep that trauma into a briefcase, like we did it in the example of a cheesecake.
Yes.
We keep it inside, and we think that it's not there anymore. It grows, increases time by time. Eventually, it becomes so big that people now have no control on it. And
Correct.
That is where the major problems happens, when people try to don't let people grieve, or sometimes they don't do it themselves because they think that they might be felt as weak.
Right. Yes.
I think that
There's an article that I pulled out. from a Wall Street Journal, and I'm going to read them to you. It says about 23.4% of US adults in the US, in North America, experience any mental health in the past year. This is from 2024 and 2025. That's over about 60 million people. Around 5.6% had been serious mental illness. Only about 72% of Americans rated their mental health as good or excellent in the late 2025. A question to you.
Sure.
We live in North America. We have abundance of life. We were fed. We have food. We have access to all this medical center, hospital, top tier hospital. Why in the world are we having this type of statistics that we have a mental health?
As I said earlier, the mental health is usually taken it for granted by showing our personality in this Western world that we are great.
Right? Yeah.
Even though sometimes we are broken inside. And majority of the time, as I said, it's not about anything else. Sometimes it's about you being belonging to something.
Correct.
For example, it's sometimes I have been to the hospitals, and sometimes I see a patient who's dying. They don't have worry and fear about the death.
Yeah, because they're already crossed that line.
Yeah,
they know that.
That time they only what I have seen. Majority of them, there's only two issues which I've seen in their eyes. Number one, they have regrets of things that they could not do in their life because they were scared.
Right.
But the majority of the time also there's one that they do not feel they were able to express their belonging in the community, their belonging, that they have some stuff in there which they were not able to express this out to the world.
Right.
So everybody expresses themselves as they are doing everything great, but internally they are broken.
Right.
Which they don't want to show it because everybody wants to hide their secret inside.
Right.
And that causes them, as the time passes, it causes them that they were not able to express themselves what they have inner, because we are all human after all.
Correct.
And that's why my job comes as to treat everybody as a human.
Right. Yes. Yes.
After that, they are patient, or after that, whatever they are. But human being, and when we treat people as human, the people should feel them they are human inside.
How much do you think depression, or I'm not going to say depression, because from my understanding of mental health is it stems from a stress that get prolonged to a depression that progress to a mental health. How much do you think is the upbringing, trauma, or childhood experience that would contribute to depression? Is it something that do you think that life experiences could trigger a depression, or what role does it have in the depression, or do you?
Absolutely. So yes, everything matters, and that triggers, whether it's a childhood abuse, sometimes childhood ignorance, sometimes it's from the parents, sometimes it's from the family member who live with them. They do not feel that secured, or sometimes it is not the child themselves, but the parents having issues between themselves, the relationship problems between the parents.
Right.
Which child sees it, whether it's sometimes what we call it when there is an argument between husband and a wife. The child sees that, and it impacts their mind. They may not realize it, that is impacting them. The child does not think at that time. Neither does the parent sometimes realize it. That the conflict of their discussion is, sometimes it may not be a war between husband and wife, but it's just the kind of discussion they have. It impacts, because that child's brain is growing every single day. They are learning every single day from the words we use, from the action the parents do. So yes, it impacts them through the childhood, because that's the growth period. Then when they come up to the teenager, that is the major time when person is coming from the childhood to a teenager life. That is the time when they start to learn something new. They want to be something of their own. And then when they are depressed or they're oppressed, that sometimes in some culture it is not necessary, because in this north part of the world,
Yeah.
in North America or Canada, a lot of time we get freedom from the childhood that you have the freedom, you are everything. Yet
Yes,
in
yeah.
in the community, most of the time, depending on different cultures,
Mm.
they don't have that freedom. So there is division of understanding from the part of the schooling.
Mm-hmm.
They are given freedom,
Yeah.
and then from the family side or from the friend circle or something, they are oppressed.
Right.
The child at that time, especially at the teenager, when they are actually developing from childhood to the adult,
Mhm.
that's the time in between, they get lost in between, and sometimes they go really aggressive, which is also bad, and sometimes they just calm down
Yeah.
and keep quiet and listen to things, and that's where depression or sometimes this kind of things causes the child to be lack of confidence inside them, and it
Right.
impacts it later on at the age when they have grown up and they have already relationship. So that impacts the relationship if they are, whether it's a girl or a boy, when they grow as an adult and they are oppressed,
Mm-hmm.
and now they have somebody to partner in their life.
Correct.
They don't know exactly how to react. Sometimes they react in a very aggressive way, and sometimes a very calm way.
Yeah.
But then it does not matches two personality together, because somebody could be good and powerful, somebody could be very timid.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad that you point that out because if can I give you analogy?
Sure.
Yeah. So I grew up in the 90s. I don't know how old you are, but I'm still younger. I assume,
Yes.
right? So in the 90s, depression or is not really mainstream, right?
Right.
Do you think that depression would come from the changing of the society? For example, we have when we're growing up, we never have cell phones. We never have these distractions, social media, and all these, right? Like for me to get to know you, for me to know what you're doing, I had to come and physically see you,
Sure.
right, in your house, right? So we develop this face-to-face type of interactions from
Sure.
human to a human. That's what we call like humanity, right? So
Yes.
we're able to communicate. When, like for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Bullying, right? So like bullying is probably one of the causes why it stems from a depression, right? Because you're not able to solve a certain problem, not solve, but you're not able to kind of counter it,
Sure.
right? Back in the days, like when we got, like, I got bullied too, right? But like we back then it's all about like the physical. If you come to me, I'll come to you,
Sure.
right? So kids have the ability to kind of defend themselves,
Sure.
and they have the physical capability, right? Today, I think what I'm seeing is the society is getting weaker,
Yes.
right? And to the point that when children comes and says, "Hey, I am depressed. I think I am depressed," but sometimes it's not necessary that they are depressed. Maybe they're just lacking of like physical activities. Maybe it's just you need to stay away from a cell phone. Like maybe like you just need to go out there and play,
Sure.
right? Do you think that this is the problem that we're seeing, that what that's why we have all this, because we have this, we're putting expectation on kids, for example, when they watch TikTok,
Yes.
right? They would see that certain people live in a certain way and they're trying to copy that, right? And if they can't, they get depressed because they think that they're below the social economic norm,
Yes.
right? Do you think that this is one of the problem why we're having this type of mental problems in the
Absolutely.
society?
Absolutely. This is so when you say about your in 90s, I'm in 60s. I'm from 60s, so
Right.
almost 65 now.
Yeah.
We had the same thing at that time. We did not have cell phones.
Right.
We did not. In fact, even the phone calls, we had one phone in the entire family.
Yes.
It was lined up.
You pick
over
up the
there.
phone,
You
right?
pick up the phone and talk. And you are absolutely right when you're talking about bullying. I was bullied when in the schools, and it was a physical fight, or take it or leave it, or whatever.
Exactly. So we
But
blow steam, and then
exactly.
that's it. Like we move on.
So we also take out our aggression from inside. When you have a physical argument, or even if it's words
Yes.
or physical fight, we take out our expressions out. Yes, you are true, because now there's two major problems which is happening is, of course, it's the social media. As you mentioned it properly, any kind of social media platform, people start comparing themselves.
Yes.
So social media and then comparison. When you look at comparing yourself, whether with social media or without, sitting in an environment, in an office or in a classroom together, and one person is dressed well with another person is not, they start to balance themselves, that I can't afford that, what can I do to choose that? So they're trying to put themselves to more pressure, trying to be according like to the other person, like they're trying to make themselves look like the other one, which they are not.
Yes.
And in trying to do that, they lose their own identity in that, and because of that, they fell into so-called depression. But it is the fault of the technology, which is taken over. Because you see, nowadays I see not just young kids, but even adults, they are on the phone even all night.
I'm going to do that. We all are.
we all, most of us do that. I have situations, because I do a lot of other YouTube videos that you might have seen it. I have complaints from ladies that, why don't you talk about using social media or even playing games, the computer games that interact with online, because they are busy in social media, and then social media connects them to a group, and they play games 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's exactly what my kids are doing. They are playing. So they have this game. I don't know what it's called, but they would gather inside that game and they play inside that game. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you guys talking inside the game? Why can't you just go outside and play and talk to each other, right? Like, whereas they're home, they're not getting sun, so obviously, like, you're gonna get depressed if you don't have a vitamin D.
Absolutely.
Right.
So it's not about just being with each other when they are fighting a game or playing a game against each other in different places. I have seen children playing in the same room, 5 children, same room. They're all on their iPad and they're playing against each other, and they're talking to them on that. So forget about. I says that when you're in the room, at least you can interact. Yes. Even if you're playing the game, you are here, connect with each other. You can put your hand like this.
At least talk.
Connection. Even if you touch somebody, that gives you some kind of movement in your body.
Correct. Yeah.
Here you are having no other movement except your thumb or fingers and your eyes. Yes. And you are already bent down all the time. So your body does not have any movements at all.
Yes.
It has to take out its reflections in the body. So as I said, sometimes you're laughing and you just say like this.
Yeah.
This is a touch, and it connects with people.
Right. Yeah.
Touching somebody just like this connects people, skin to skin sometimes. That is why we are made as a human being.
Yes.
We cannot
contact.
Yeah.
We need to have a contact, because we're not meant to be in the room just that we don't have contact with other people. We're not pigs, we're not animals.
Not only that, if even if you don't do anything and just look at my face and I'm giving you a smile,
yes,
it will change it will change my whole body, like immune system, not just the external part of the body, but it helps you improve when you are smiling and you're feeling good about it. Sitting in the room talking to each other, we are made for communication, which is the communication is there through the digital channels, which is not connecting with people. It's trying to take us away. And not only that, there is some third party through this whole channel which is monitoring our kids' behavior.
That's
and
exactly
then they
my point.
impact them on the different channels through their marketing. And that's how they try to grab our young people into a total different channel, and they are now trying to bring them towards different kind of things where the kids may not even want to be there, but because the way they talk. I've seen some children when they are playing this game, I have heard this vocabulary, and I'm very, very careful with the words I use, and people around me use the same words. And I've seen these kids, they're 8, 10, 11 years old kids, and I heard them sitting behind it. Oh, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Oh, don't shoot me. Don't kill me.
Yes,
This kind
yes,
of
yes, yes,
words,
yeah.
do you
They're not
know
meant.
how much impact is making in their subconscious mind?
Correct, yes.
And how then later on they become aggressive? And then when we see this kind of shooting in the schools or colleges, universities,
This is exactly the
we
problem.
can't blame the kids itself, because the society has let them free to use this kind of a language which already tells them that you are criminal,
Yes.
or
Do
they
you
try
th-
to get them there.
do you think that it's that a parent has a certain roles why these things are happening, or would you blame a parents that for like bringing up kids these days, that like back in the days, for example, right, the discipline that we have, back in the I grew up in the 90s, right, or in back in the 80s when I was a kid, right, that we have a disciplinary type of a discipline from the affairs that we always get hit,
Yes.
right, that we know not to cross a line. There's a certain line that we never cross,
Sure.
and we know that if we cross that line, there's a consequences,
Sure.
right? I think what's happening now too is that kids nowadays, they don't have fear of crossing lines, and when they go out there, they can't comprehend what that line is, and
Yes.
that's why you see kids that are committing crimes because they never been trained at home,
Yes.
that they never get like yelled, like not yelled at, but parents never raise voice,
Yes.
right? That when they go out there, and if somebody like raises voice, they go, oh,
Yeah.
they don't know what to do, right? Do you think that parents, like sometimes are getting soft and on their kids, on how to discipline their kids, like not like discipline that like you're abusing them,
Yes.
but like putting roles or putting that line that, hey, if you cross that line, there will be a consequences.
Yes.
Right.
It is definitely parents' responsibility. I will definitely blame the parents to do that. But in most of the time, parents always get excuses that it is not just the parents, but it's the society, it's the educational system in this country
Yes.
that teaches them that your parents have no rights over you.
Correct. Yeah. This is one thing too that I want to talk about, because like for example, is school, right? They would sometimes when kids says, I think I am depressed, right? They would automatically say, you are depressed, and here's the medications,
Yes.
right? Like, whereas they're supposed to find out first what happened. Why is it that you're like that? Like, have you been taking like private food, or have you been going outside, like exercising? Like, do you have a physical activities? And sometimes this could be just the solution, right?
Right.
Give them activities aside from a cell phone and like gadgets, right?
Yes.
And I think that's what the problem, because at teachers at school, they would tell you, oh, parents do not have rights. They think that once you drop off your kids to their school, that's their time
Yes.
to.
So here I will ask you one thing. It's of course we can blame the education system,
Mhm.
but when I say about the parents' role here, as I said, the first, of course, we should blame the parents, and then, of course, the education system. But when it comes to the parents, what I've seen here now, as I said, social media is playing a big role.
Mhm.
It is not about just with the kids; it's about the adults. I've seen parents coming home; they hardly get to talk to the kids, and they're now either busy making the dinner, or they are busy having another social media connections with some of their friends or co-workers, or they bring their work home,
Right.
or they are busy with sitting on the TV and playing or watching games, whether it's games they watch it on daily basis. But how much interaction or how much time you give? Recently, I've seen a podcast where somebody asked a question: "Can you spell love?" Can I ask you this question? Can you spell love?
LOV
No, it's TIME.
TI TIM. Oh, time. You okay?
Time
Yeah.
is love.
Correct.
If you don't give your time to your kids, to your spouses, and then you expect them to love you, if they don't love you, would they share their problems with you?
Exactly. Yeah.
If they don't share their problems with you, how would you know that they are actually depressed? Whom
Right.
can they go and tell them that they're depressed if they don't have their parents?
That's a good point.
So the most important thing, if the parents can give the time, and then there's an analogy which I recently discussed it with my own grandchildren last week itself, is that there's a castle.
Mhm.
The wall of the castle protects the army, entire army, and the people who live in the castle. And the castle wall is strong enough to handle any kind of damages from outside. People cannot enter the castle until they want to break into it,
Mhm.
and it's very strong wall. What will happen if the people living inside the castle makes a small hole, very small hole? Those hole represents the things which is restricted in our culture or in our family. So you set your values.
Mhm.
This is our values, and those values are actually the analogy of the wall of this castle. If you do not respect your value, a small bit of it, just a small bit, like telling a lie,
Right.
people consider that's a small thing, but you take that, if you tell lie 5-6 times in a day, and that
Become a
goes to
truth.
the parents too. If like sometimes his father will say, I am on my way
Mhm.
to his boss or to his colleague, I'm on my way, while he's in the dining room.
Right.
Kids know that he is lying. This is a small thing. You make a small hole in that wall. If you make 500-600 small holes in that wall, would the enemy need to push it harder? They can just push it slightly because there are so many holes. The
Yes.
wall is already weak.
Correct.
This is our crossing, this is our strength, that we use it as a castle wall, is all the values of the family protects us inside us. If you let it go week by week, small things, small pebbles, you remove it from there, the wall is so weak that they don't need any bombardment to come inside. They can just push into a slight push will break the wall and they can walk in.
Right.
So to
Okay.
protect our family, to protect our children, to protect our sanity, ourselves, we need to protect it by keeping those values. First of all, understand what the value is. And then you can live with that value and protect it by every that you don't do those things which is against your value.
Correct. Okay. That's a good point.
That will actually engage your kids, your family. It's not about just the kids, it's the spouses, husband, wife, sometimes brothers, sisters, they do not connect with each other because they don't have time for each other. Everybody is busy in their own different world.
Yes.
So
Especially in North America. That
everywhere it is.
Yes.
That's not. I've seen that happening in India. I'm from India. I've seen people. I've grown up in Dubai.
Right.
We were a small, like Dubai was when I grew up there. It was a small city, and it was more so like a village.
But now
Like
it's smaller.
everybody knew each other. Forget about my family, neighbors. It is not just neighbors. Everybody in the city knew each other. I go outside. I know somebody knows me there.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah.
That's where I grew up. Now we are living in the same house. Everybody wants their own separate bedroom, so they are
Right.
divided.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to use separate washroom. We grew up in a house where there was only one washroom. Everybody has to use it, so we are interacting with each other. If you want to go to the washroom,
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
there is
You
no
have
interaction with you. Everybody has a separate world of their own
a separate
in the same
life.
house, separate life.
Yes.
When they come home, they are not connected with each other. If you don't connect, then people will definitely keep their information inside. They have no way to express it outside, and we don't express it outside, it comes into a depression.
Okay. Now, let me ask you: do you believe in a in a depression, or it is
Yes.
something that, because some people say that a depression, there is a sign of a depression, but but if you believe that you're depressed, that you're going to be depressed.
Yeah.
Right. But if you know the sign, for example, a sign could be 2 a.m. thoughts, like when you're like sleeping,
Yes.
and all of a sudden you startled,
Yes.
like there's something.
Yes.
Right. I've seen like some people say that if you acknowledge the sign, a depression won't come, or a depression, or you could solve depression before it becomes a depression. Because like from what I understand, it is that stress if you stay longer in that, like, if you cannot solve problems, that, let's say, for example, there's a block, right?
Yes.
One block, and you got to go to this block here.
Yes.
If you can solve this block, and if you stay in this block for too long, you're gonna get depressed, right?
Exactly.
So I think people nowadays are having problem to solve problems because their problem solving skills are coming from a GPT.
Yes.
Right? So if you know how to solve a problem, like for example, if your a problem is financials, right?
Yes.
And like we're in sales, right? Like maybe the solution could be like we should making calls,
Yes.
right? So that you can solve these problems, and then you can move on to and solving one more block,
Yeah.
and that would eliminate depression to like mental problems.
Yes.
Or like mental health. Am I saying this thing correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I believe in depression. There is no doubt about it. Depression is true. And as you mentioned, you are actually on the right spot because yes, if you have stress, and that's why the analogy I gave you right in the beginning about the cheesecake.
Right.
It is the stress, or it's a trauma, or it's a grief that you don't deal with it throughout the day. That's why it is all in your mind, which wakes you up at 2 a.m.
Right.
It will bother you because it's there. You are just keeping it in your briefcase and you think that it's a cheesecake, it's something delicious, but it is hurting you inside. It's bothering you in your mind. It's making you sleepless nights because it has not gone anywhere. If you are taking it, you have a problem, deal with it and keep it away. If you have a cheesecake, eat it or give it away. Keeping it inside you is not going to help you. It's becoming poison. Same thing, any thoughts, any abuse, any trauma, any fear, you have it, you need to deal with it and then get out of it as early as possible. And deal with it. It doesn't have to be that you just try to hide it inside, oh, I'm forgotten. It's not forgotten. You need to talk it out.
Right.
I will tell you something very simple. It happened in my own family and myself too. In our culture, we normally try to hide our pain.
Correct.
So recently I had lost my brother-in-law, and it was a sudden thing happened, and it happened at middle of the night. We got a call from back home that he passed away. My wife, being an elder person in the sibling, she was trying to coordinate between her other brothers and sisters and talking to them and keeping it. And I was watching all night. Throughout the night, she was trying to sleep. She was trying to get up, talk, all these things. In the morning, I thought of it. I said, she has not cried yet. She's lost her brother. Why would she not cry? So I talked to her. I says, are you trying to hide it that you have a problem and you have to grieve? You are a human being. And if you have to cry, you have my shoulders to cry.
Right. Yes.
But you cannot just keep on hiding. The moment I said that, she cried like a baby.
Oh, because she's trying to
hold it inside her.
Oh, okay.
Exactly, this is what happens when we hold the cheesecake in our briefcase or a purse, that we think that it's okay. It's okay. But it's not, because if I did not let her cry, imagine if she went with that was just one night, she had the entire day to. Then she will have to deal with it throughout, and it stays there. If we keep it for a few days, what will be her situation inside? She may not say it, and she might try to forget and work on her own way, but that is still inside.
Correct.
She will never be able to come out until we take it out.
Yes.
So we need to speak. If we don't speak, that's why I would normally want people to help people speak out. If you don't speak out, and the people don't speak out only because they feel I'm going to hurt somebody, or I might take out my personal secrets out there, which might hurt me later on down the road. Sometimes people do that at workplace. I've seen people who are sick, they don't want to tell because they say if I tell them, I might lose my job, or maybe they might use this against me in my growth. That okay, this person has this issues, he can or she cannot do this, I will take advantage of this. So people are afraid to talk about it. That's very, very dangerous.
Right. How? Let me ask you this, Mushtaq. For somebody that's going through this thing right now, this stress right now, that I know, for example, let me give you a perfect scenario, right? So let's just say, for example, financial, because we all going through this. Many people nowadays are going through this financial problem, right?
Yes.
Let's just say, for example, you have somebody that is stressed right now, and we know what the solution is. To make money, right? If you're in sales like us, you need to make calls, right? But if your physiology is off, like, for example, if you're down, right, and you make that call, it will translate. It will send a message to the other line that
Exactly.
you're down,
Yes.
and your call is not going to be good, right?
Yes.
How do you change a person's physiology so that when they make that call, that it's a proper call, that they're upbeat. So somebody's saying that you have to make it until you fake it
Fake it
until
until
you
you
make
make
it, right?
Yes.
But is that really a term, that if you're in that situation, like you want to have, like you want to solve this mental block, like you're right here, and then you're down. How do you change the physiology of that person?
Sure. So I always say that
Yeah.
fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
It goes with your principle of power of attraction.
Okay.
Subconscious mind does not
Subconscious mind.
know. So you have to fake it to your subconscious mind. But your question is different, because if you are already down,
Yes.
how would you bring that energy?
Correct. Yes.
And
These are
that energy
questions.
will
Yeah.
come again in a way you cannot deal with people at that time.
Mm.
You first have to deal with your own thing.
Mhm.
And that is to bring your negative energy into positive. I used to do that, and I believe that works for me.
Mm.
It may work for somebody. There are two things that we can do. Number one, and the best thing, I have done this practically with so many people. They call me.
Mm.
I still remember, I said they were driving. There was two different occasions when the person was driving, and they told me they are in a depression situation, and they are all the problems they could. I said, stop, park your car somewhere safe,
That's it.
stop the car, and I want you to come out of the car. I says, turn on your video camera. I want to see you. Come out of here. And I have done it right in the parking lot of this parking lot here.
Mm.
I says, get out of the car, stand there, put the camera. I want to see you, and I want you to start your breathing pattern.
Right.
So
Yes.
there is
Yeah.
a breathing pattern that you do, and I will do it and show it to you. You have to stop and take the breathe in small
small.
patterns, about 5 times or 6 times. Then blow it out with your mouth. When you're doing that for less than 5 minutes, you will actually forget everything happened to you. And if you try it yourself, because when you're counting 5 breaths in or 6 breaths in, then you are not thinking anything else, because now you're losing breath. Your body is asking for oxygen.
Mm.
You're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
When you're counting, so your mind has lost everything that was blocking it
Yeah.
to say where you are in
And
the
you got-
current position.
And you got the blood.
And now
flow.
you're getting a blood flow.
Yes.
Your body is actually, when you are trying to take in breath and stop it there, it will make a huge impact that now you're struggling for the breath. You forget about everything. If a person falls into a water and he is deep into the water, he has no other dream just to survive. What is he going to do? Even if he doesn't know swimming, he's going to move his hand and feet wherever to come out of the water.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
To have a one breath. When you do the same thing here, your body is struggling, forgetting everything you have around you. You have financial stress, you have health stress, you have family stress,
Yeah.
you have any stress, you will forget it. I can guarantee you within no minutes. Within 4, I've tried it 2 different experiences during my calls, and people were amazed. They said, oh, I really had good things
That's
to
a
do.
good point.
That is one thing. Second thing, which I used to practice all the time, is that if you have a mirror,
Yes.
look into the mirror and give it a big smile.
In the morning.
Anytime.
Anytime.
What I used to do is that because when I was young, when I started real estate here, I was very young, and I had a very beautiful picture of myself.
Yeah.
So I had it on my business card. I always had it on my dashboard while I'm driving. If I'm feeling down, our business has a lot of challenges. It is very stressful.
Correct.
When we have those challenges, I look at myself, this smiling guy in front of me. It brings a smile. And when you smile, your
Yes.
entire, as I told you earlier, entire hormone changes. You need to just
Absolutely
see
right.
a person who you really love,
Yes.
and who loves somebody else and not love themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see their face, and everybody has to love themselves first before they can love anybody. I don't believe in people, they say, I love this person, or I love mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, children. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love anybody else.
Right.
And if you see that loving person smiling in front of you, whether it's a mirror, always best to keep a mirror in front of you, give a smile. I do that every morning, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you start a great day with a smiling, with affirmations, with everything you do, but there are a lot of contaminations coming throughout our work, our life during the day. Stop wherever you are being contaminated and take that and make a smile. Look at yourself. If you don't, nowadays we have cameras. Turn on the camera, look at yourself, give it a big smile. See how you smile now?
Correct.
You will not change anything from you except you make somebody else in front of you. And if it's you yourself in the mirror, who is the better person to make him happy?
Absolutely.
And for that purpose, yes, your physiology, you need to, sometimes in our culture we say, if you are angry, you first go and wash your face.
Right.
So if you have some water splashing on your face, your anger might change.
Right.
Water is one. If you are very angry still, if you're standing, sit down.
Yes.
If you are sitting down and you are still angry, lie down. Change your physiology, change the location. If you are sitting there, you are feeling angry, come and sit on another chair.
Right.
The location might have an impact. And then another thing you might have heard, this is not new, I have done a video on this one, is that imagine I'm walking in this corner of this office and you're coming from the side and you have a cup of coffee in your hand and I bang against you and you spill the coffee on me. Why do you think that coffee is spilled on me?
Because it's a gravity that it spills because I touched it.
No.
Why is that?
If you imagine that you did not have coffee in that mug, you had water there, what would have spilled out?
Water.
I asked you the question, why did the coffee spill?
Because it's a coffee?
Because there was a coffee inside the mug, right?
Okay.
So it was a coffee inside your jug or in the mug or whatever the cup you have. That's what spills out. When we are having any kind of issues, it spills out what is inside us. So if, as you said in your experience, that you were already stressed out at the mechanic shop, which was not a very convenient place, you have some cost involved, you have unexpected things happening there. So you're not in the right state of mind and somebody triggers you. It comes out of because that was what in your mind.
Right.
Whatever we have inside us will only spill out when nobody can harm me in my personal life unless I give them a chance to take over my control of my emotions. My emotions inside me is up to me how to control, not anybody else. But we give a chance to people because we store that emotions, especially the harmful emotions. We hold it here. We are angry, we are sad, we are grieving, and we are holding it inside. Somebody comes and gives you a spark, and you are on the fire.
Right.
With fire like a dragon, you are going to spit the fire on anybody else. And then you say, because this guy did that to me. But no, it was what inside. If you every time control yourself, no matter what happens, if I have something, if I took it, I told another, but anyway, I'll take that later on. But whatever is inside you will spit out immediately. So I need to, if I have a bad taste in my mouth, spit it out. Try to make sure you are always in a better environment inside you, not outside. So that anybody comes and tries to harm you or try to engage you in an argument, you cannot get involved there because you are peace inside. Correct. If you're not peace from inside, you will never be peaceful outside.
Correct.
I hope that answers.
Do you ever get mad, Mushtaq?
Yes, I do. I do get mad, but I don't react to that.
I've seen that because, on that occasion, I've watched you because, it happened to me first, right? And I gave you the same scenario, and you took over. And I've been watching you, and you dealing with that like irate situation where I had the same phone call, right? And I'm watching you that you're frustrated, and you're like really, like I would say that your demeanor is, like you control it.
Yes,
right?
I was in total control.
Because like me, when I got it, like when I got the call, I snap.
Yes. It's
Right.
because you had no control. And first of all, you need to learn this one.
Yeah.
How to take our stress. And this is what I was going to tell earlier, but I said I should get the right time to say that. I'm going to give you another analogy.
Sure.
We have a candy here,
Mhm.
and we have a tablet for, let's say, Tylenol or Advil.
Right.
Okay, if I give you that tablet for a painkiller,
Yeah.
and I tell you to take it for your pain, how long will you hold it in your mouth?
Not very long.
You take
As
it
well, yeah.
immediately.
Yes.
If I give you that candy and I give it to you, how long will you hold that in mouth? Will you take it immediately and swallow it?
No, because I would enjoy it.
This is exactly what happens when somebody talks to you.
Yes.
If it's bad, if it's hurtful,
Yeah.
consider and remember this all the time. This is a Tylenol or Advil or any painkiller. You take that, swallow it, finish. This is over.
Okay.
If you keep it in your mouth for long, it's going to taste bad. And if it's bad in your mouth, that's what you're going to spit out. If sometimes somebody does good to you, make sure you enjoy that taste and hold on to that as long as you remember that thing. This person was so nice to me. Now, if I am nice to you and you enjoy my company all the time,
you will reciprocate back.
you'll reciprocate. And sometimes if I say something wrong to you now, if you have a good taste of me, you say, how come Mushtaq is not like that?
Yes. Yes.
This has no taste like Mushtaq. Mushtaq is always, whether it's sweet, whether it's good fragrance, whatever you have good about me should remain in your sight as if you have a good candy in your mouth. Our taste should always remain there. But if somebody did bad to you, let's say I did bad to you now, you take it as a pill, swallow it. It's okay. Mushtaq is not that person.
Gotcha.
He has, it is his situation that it was nothing to do with you. It is his situation. He is trying to spill out something. Let me just flush it out of my system. I don't want to have that. I don't want to have that ill or bad taste inside me, which will connect. Even if you don't know me, it's an outsider. He's just walking by. He's drive past you and he's splashed snow on you.
Yeah.
That thing will ignite you like this.
Yeah.
If you have that in mind. But if you say, no, take it as a bad pill, it's okay. He doesn't even know. Maybe he is in rush. Let him go.
Yeah. Because on that day, I got that call in the morning and it just ruined the whole day for me. I couldn't function for the whole day because all I'm thinking is like, I want to get it back. I want to get it back. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna write down notes and I'm gonna put it aside and forget about it because what? Why should I respond to it?
Exactly.
And I said, you know what? And after one day, I was fine. So I forgot about it. I put it aside. Here you go. I put it in the shelf. I documented, and I said, I'm gonna take it unless it comes up.
Sure.
Correct.
So you said after one day, you know how many hours you wasted in that one day?
Yeah, 24 hours. It's in my head.
It was all your mind. It's affecting your health, first of all, because it's in your mind. That's what I started with beginning, that you have those kind of things in your mind, which you try, you keep it with yourself. It's like a cheesecake again.
Right.
You have it there and you're keeping it throughout the day. If it was fresh cheesecake in the morning, you could enjoy it. Right. But if you keep it all the day inside it, at the end of the day, it doesn't have the same taste. It doesn't have the same freshness. So you not only lost your stressful time, you were stressful.
Wasted time.
You're wasting your productive time. You're wasting. You will not be probably speaking nicely with your daughter.
Yes. Yeah.
So damaging your relationship with your child.
Right.
You would probably may not say "I love you" to your wife.
Right.
Because you are upset. You forgot to say that because that passion of love is now destroyed because of somebody else.
Yes. Yeah. So there's the
what is in your cup? That's important.
Correct. Yeah, I got the analogy now. Yeah. So speaking of that, let's go into another topic. I know that you have another responsibilities to the society. You're a chaplain.
Yes.
Right. What exactly is a chaplain? Because I know from the chaplain when I watch movies that there's somebody that prays for.
Yes.
Is that what a chaplain is?
Well, in most cases, that is what people expect that to do. I treat it a business, or it's not a business. Basically, it's a service.
Service, yes.
That I do it, and I do it for purpose of humanity. And I do it because it's not about people think when I go and meet them, they think that chaplain comes and do a prayer for us.
Right.
Most importantly for me, when I go there, I just want to go and give them a presence of or purpose of their life, because I told you in the beginning that usually things happen when people at their end of the life or something like that, they are more concerned about, did their life matter?
Mm-hmm.
Was their life something to do? Did that make any difference in anybody? If you make them feel good, it will make the whole impact differently, and the person who is probably either very sick or at the end of the life gets a little bit of light of hope in their self.
How do you deal with this personally? Because one time, me and you had to visit our colleague, unfortunately, right?
Yes.
And I've seen you that we walk in the hospital, and I've seen you that your demeanor, that you're actually present, right? And I'm thinking to myself that if I was in your shoes, like how do I deal with this with other people's problem, and then I come home with my own a family, and I have my own problems. Like, how do you manage to separate between the two of them? Like, how
I've
do you
learned this.
chat with them?
I've learned this very long back when I was in aviation. So this is my boss taught me something. When I used to enter the airport for my work, my job was very stressful. Working in an aviation, especially at the airport, operation, it's very, very critical. We need to make decision in fractions of seconds
Mm-hmm.
to make some decisions. So it was stressful. My boss said that when you enter the building of the airport, leave your home behind.
Leave the baggage behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you leave the airport, going out of that, leave the problems of the airport behind. But that was in the different business. So in our life, it's not easy.
I know, because you're dealing with people that is in their end of life, and I'm sure that you feel emotions to
Yes.
the attachment to that person, right? And you come home and you bring that energy home, and you probably
We don't bring it home.
you
We don't bring it home, definitely. There is one analogy, again, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
A person has a front yard and there are flowers there,
Mm.
certain kind of flower. This guy, when he goes inside the house with his friend, the person says something to the flower, and then he goes inside the house. So he asks him, I says, I have seen you. You're talking to the flower outside your home. He says, I'm telling the flower, and this is what I try to do it myself in a different analogy. I'm trying to say that what he's trying to tell the flowers that I have this situations that I dealt with throughout my outside life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving it with you. So keep it as a trust here. I'm going it. I don't want to take it with me inside.
Mm-hmm.
He goes inside. He has nothing to do with that problem. He's outside with the flowers out there. When he comes back, he takes that flower. He takes one flower out from there, keeps it in his pocket. That problem is now again to solve for the next day.
Right.
You cannot carry that problems with you in your family. I have situations. It's not just the spiritual care that I do. I have a real estate business myself.
Yes.
I do occasionally buy and sell. So there is transactions that I do, and you know how much transactions are stressful for us.
Correct. Yes.
So I am doing spiritual care where I see these patients, and at certain cases they are in the life and death situation. It's very painful.
Yeah.
Then I'm doing real estate. Then I'm also managing an office here.
Yes.
Which I have,
as children.
Yes. So they are my children, and they all have problems. They all have the same multiple. I have a real estate business myself.
Yeah.
They have 100 times more because everybody brings their same problems to me. So
Yeah.
I have their problems.
Yeah. So how do you
And then I have my financial problems.
Correct.
I have my health problems.
Yes.
I have to handle all those things. Yet I have to go home. Now, if I go home with all these problems and I hurt my family, are they being judged properly? Are they being treated well? No, because they are being pressurized because I bring all the problems to them and now I put them into trouble. So that will be unfair for my family.
Yeah.
I deal with everything. As soon as you walk out of my office, your problem, your file close and put it in the folder.
That's a good
Next.
analogy.
And if I am disturbed with your problems and I'm being involved inside and I'm keeping it myself, I will probably go outside and have some fresh air,
Mm-hmm.
drink some water, try to change my, as I said, breathing pattern works sometimes. Sometimes I also get very angry. I say, I am a human being. And if I get angry and if I say something to you, you will get hurt and I will never be able to replace that because I hurt you once. Instead of you, if I come into this dark room here and I call and I abuse all these walls here and I say a lot of false language, do I hurt anybody else here?
No, because these is just
These are all lifeless things. They have no value, anything. I expressed out my grief because I wanted to take it out.
right.
I do that to the walls, not to a mirror, because you're seeing there.
Because you see me
I
reflecting
do
yourself.
take care of it in against the walls because they are not living. There is no impact there. And then I walk outside and I'm back to normal. So I do get stressed out with things. If I go out and meet a patient and I'm coming out, I'm really grieved, I'll go outside and cry. I'll take it out of my system. I am not meeting one patient in a hospital. Sometimes I meet 5 patients in the hospital.
Wow.
So if I'm dealing with one and I'm going to the next one, I cannot take that problem from one patient to another one. I'm here to solve, not to take and multiply their problems.
Do you handle patients that is close to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is more painful.
It's more painful.
I have my mother, my stepmother. She's in hospital for almost 3 years now. And sometimes I was with my mother in the hospital because I go and visit her regularly. So I see her. She can't speak. She can't express anything. She can't eat. I'm there. I can see her in pain. And then I'm coming out from there. I get a call from the hospital. There's a patient in emergency. They want to see their father is there. I'm going to see the father there or a mother. I don't remember, but exactly same time I was there. They were in problem. And I says, I'm telling you all these things. I'm just coming from my own mother. For last 3 years, or that time it was not 3 years, but whatever time frame I had, I said, I had been suffering just a couple of hours before I was with my mother in the same scenario like you are with your father right now. I can understand your pain and feeling, but at the same time, it doesn't help you. It doesn't. For me, it was easier to tell this person not to grieve because the father is quiet and cannot talk. He's in emergency. I don't know how long he's going to survive or not survive. And I've been in the same position about a couple of hours before with my own mother. I did not cry when I was with my mother. And I came out, I cried, I took my grief out. Now I have to go and meet the other patient. I cannot take my problems and see that patient or their family. I'm not just missing a patient. Sometimes I have patients, they don't even get to talk to me.
Right, yeah.
So I'm not meeting them, but I have their family members. They're relying on my ability.
When you visit them, are they, for example, when a patient is in their end of life?
Yes.
Are they, what their patterns like when you first visit them? Are they, in the first week they're in a denial, and then eventually they come to the acceptance? Because I could imagine if I was in that shoes, right? So like sometimes I put myself in that situation, and I'm thinking, how do I act or how do I behave if I'm in that situation, knowing that I have a timeline that this is it. Do I like speed it up and just, hey, I want to get it done, like end the suffering, that's it.
Yeah.
Or do they are they on that pattern, or
this all depends on each person, depending on how they live their life and how they wish to live their life further. So some people, they will agree that they don't want to suffer. They want to pass it as quickly as possible. I've seen that happening. I've seen different patterns happening. Some people denial. They don't expect that they need to die. This is what we need to learn in daily basis. Live every single day that this is your last day.
Right, yeah.
If you live, this is not everybody will understand that, because when we talk about this, people think we are just being more emotional. Yeah. And that's the fact of life. Every single human being have to die.
Yes. And we don't talk about it too, right? That's the problem, because we don't talk about this.
That we don't talk, so that's why it is supposed to be. That's why I am not. Another thing which I do is that I'm part of funeral services.
Okay.
I'm part of it, so I go. I wash the bodies of the people who have passed away. We do the coffin, we do everything, and then this reminds me again that this is our end of life. So
Yes.
if we know that tomorrow is not guaranteed, I will live my life to the fullest today.
Right.
And I don't just believe in life for tomorrow. I don't even believe that I'm going to survive for the next 15 minutes. So if I'm doing that way and I'm not worried because I know I'm going to die, what I'm having at present right now, I should enjoy and I need to savor that, and I should make sure that I take the best out of it, what I
Make
want
the
to do in
best
my
out of
life.
it. Right. Yes.
So every minute, every second I do something, I'm happy and content that I achieved a purpose in my life. If
Right.
I have a fulfillment of life every single day, every single hour, then I will not be worried. But that doesn't happen to everybody. I've seen people, they are in denial. But last 2 months ago, I met a lady. I was called there. She was 103 or 104 something.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughters, they were almost 70, 60, 70 years old. Daughters were sitting next to me. I went and met her, and she has the most, and I told her, she was communicating with me. The day they called me, I said, I will not be able to come today. Is it emergency? She said, no, it's not emergency. She's not at the edge of dying, but we don't know, anything can happen anytime if you can
Right.
come. So I went to on the next day. And when I went the next day, they told me she is not responding. But when I went there, I saw her and I gave her a smile. That was the first thing I did. I gave her a good smile, and I saw a smile on her face. They both, her daughters were sitting there. They looked at me. They said, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next word I used it, I says, you know, I was told by your daughters you are 103 years old, but I have never seen such a beautiful lady in my life like you, that is
Wow.
smiling at this age. Her smile became more wider, and she opened her eyes and she looked at me like this. And I was amazed. I sat down. Now I got the energy from her.
Yes. Yes.
She looked at me. I mean, of course, when I smiled, she smiled, but there was no energy. But when I gave her that positive news that she's one of the most beautiful lady I've ever seen in my life, alive at this age,
Mm-hmm.
her strength grew up internally. And then she raised her face, looked into my eyes exactly, and gave me a bigger smile. That gave me so much of energy. I said, I want to sit down more. Normally, I go to the patient, I don't sit down for more than 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Correct.
Almost there for almost 40 minutes with her.
Wow.
And we had to go. And then she did not want to eat. Her daughter said that I don't know how she's going to survive because she has stopped eating. She doesn't eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I called her with polite. I says, I know your strength depends on some kind of food that you will eat it.
Right.
You have that strength. I know you. I don't know why you don't want to give that chance and why you're giving up. If you consider me, like, because she's much 103 years old.
Yes.
So I told her, I said, if you consider me as your son, I do not want my mother to be hungry or starving in front of me. If I feed you a little bit of food, would you take it from me?
Right. Okay.
Believe me, her daughters were astounded because she said yes. Her daughter said, I cannot believe that she said yes because she is refusing all the food they said. But eventually she didn't, because they told me that if she even drinks water, that is good enough, because she has problems. She can get choked if she eats something. I was going to give her some liquid food, but it was a little bit thick like a jelly. But they said, let us first give. So then we gave some water and then, but she didn't refuse to me. Why?
Gotcha.
Why she didn't refuse to me?
Because of your presence is there?
Because of my approach to her.
Oh yeah,
I
correct. Yeah,
gave her
approach.
that confidence that she is still the most beautiful lady.
Yeah.
She had that. She and she knows she's dying. But yet she was prepared to die. Her daughters were, because they are no 103. How long she's going to? I told her daughters, I said, if she is willing to live, why are you ready for her end of the life?
Right.
She says, because she's not eating. I says, she will eat. You need to make sure that you talk to her in a way that uplifts her self-esteem. She feels that she still has some value. She has something. You need to bring that value inside a human. That's what happens in, usually people think that that's the end of it.
Right.
You don't know how long you're going to live.
Right. Are you afraid of a dying Mushtaq?
Me afraid of dying?
Yes.
No.
No. Why is that?
because I know I have lived my life fulfilled and I live every day.
Gotcha. Yes.
And to be honest, I don't want to name the person. He's not here, but there's a person
Yeah.
I know. He also is with me in my funeral services program. And I said, if you see me die, if you are there to wash my body and to prepare my coffin, make sure at the end of it, because I know when the body is dead, you can make it. I said, make sure I have a smile on my face because
Wow.
I don't want to die and
Yeah.
my face looks sad. I
Yeah.
have to keep smiling, and I want to make sure I'm smiling when
That-
I'm leaving this world.
That's a good point. Well, I think we're entering in the 1 hour mark now. It has been a good discussion, Mushtaq, and I want to thank you for coming into my podcast. We talk a lot of stuff from mental health, depressions, and life, end of life. Once again, I want to thank you, and I want to see you guys on the next podcast.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mushtaq.
Call me the architect of possibility, turning blueprints into reality. Numbers, papers, signed with clarity. This is my world, my territory.